everybody, Andrew here, back again. Two more juices. This time I have the standard G-35, which comes in this rather amazing bottle, 30ml bottle, glass, and again I think it just comes as it is. I actually don't remember whether or not there was a seal on the top of it. And does it say anything about the mix on it? Doesn't actually. It seems to be quite thick, so I'd say that it's probably heavier on the VG than it is on the PG. So we have that one, and then we also have forbidden fruit, Jameson's forbidden fruit. Now, what does it say here? Irish vapor juice. Established 2012, and this is 12 milligram. And again, if I can find out what the actual breakdown is, PGVG, I'll put it up on the screen so you can see what it is. Now, I've had these for a little while. These came to me from Vaporium.eu, and thank you to Lee and Sean for sending them to me. Now, I'm going to try this one first. I have to say, with this one here, I did try it a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't massively into it. And smell-wise, it's kind of got it's a slightly strange smell. Let's see, what do they actually say about it? Where are we? The standard G-35. A mixture of coconut, pineapple, mango, with a hint of menthol. Now here we go, bloody pineapple again. But let's see what it's like. The strange thing about this is, as I said, I didn't really like it when I tried it the last time. So, you know, coming up to the review, I was saying, right, okay, well, that's going to be one that I'm going to be striking off the list. But it's actually grown on me. It is... It's a medium sort of a throat hit on it. Very, very good vapor off it. It's a full-bodied, you know, it's a fully rounded, there's a cream in there. Now, I mean, they're not saying anything about that, but there has to be some sort of a cream in there because it's just sort of pulling everything together. The overall stander outer of flavours in that for me is coconut, a little bit of pineapple and a little bit of mango as well. Now, they talk about menthol, a hint of menthol. Well, Jesus, you know, if they were to ever hint at me, I don't think it would just go straight past me. I wouldn't notice it because I certainly don't notice the menthol in this. I just don't get the menthol. For me, it's not there. So it's more coconut than anything else. But it is actually very nice. And again, going back to what I said, I didn't like it at the beginning, and again, this is a thing that I think has to be considered by people. There's many times that you buy a juice in, you'll try it, you've seen a review, you've read something on the internet, somebody has said to you that this is a particularly wonderful thing, you try it, and then you think it's rubbish, and you really don't like it. I think the whole taste with vaping is different than, say, the taste with food. I don't quite understand why it's as different as it is, and also how your taste buds can react so differently to a liquid one day from the next. So it could be that one day, you know, you try it and you think it's absolute rubbish, and then the following day you try it and you think it's one of the nicest liquids you've ever had. And, you know, it can be anything from, you know, if you're dehydrated, it's going to taste different than if you're properly hydrated. Sometimes if you're tired, the times of the day, something will taste different in the morning than it tastes in the evening. And then, of course, add into that the whole thing of the different atomizers that are available, and whether you're going off a clearomizer or a cartomizer or a, you know, a big yolk like that or whatever, that all sort of changes the taste as well. But I think the thing is that if you ever do buy a liquid and it's just not working for you when you get it, but you have heard recommendations from people, stick it away for a while. Take it out a week later, 2 weeks later. Forget about it. Find it 3 months later in the back of a cupboard or whatever. But don't just throw it out. Give it another go, because there's a very good chance that your taste for that will have actually changed. And it's one of the strange, one of the great things about vaping, but one of the really truly frustrating things about vaping as well. So anyway, long story short, this G-35 from the Standard, for me, it's not an all-day vape. It is a very pleasant vape. It's something that I could imagine would be very, very nice after, maybe, eating a meal or whatever, because it is a kind of a dessert vape, really. For me, the main thing is coconut. The mango is ahead of the pineapple. The pineapple is theirs at the bottom. So we've got pineapple, we've got mango, and we've got coconut on the top of it. And apparently there's menthol somewhere, but it's hiding right behind them so that I can't bloody see it at all. So that's it. Very good. Not fully to my taste, but again, huge difference between when I tasted it first and now that I've tasted it this time. Right, I found the right carto. Here it is. Now, a little tip, what I tend to do with cartos, because I go through quite a few liquids, trying them. And cartos really can't be recycled, not in my opinion anyway. I've tried to clean them out, to boil them, to do all sorts of things. But you always end up with a little bit of flavour left from the previous liquid. So what I tend to do is, if a liquid goes into a carto, then that's the only liquid that's ever going to go into that particular carto. So I have a little Dremel, it's a little engraver, it's a little motorized thing, and basically what you can do is on your cartos is actually just put in the name of the liquid that's in it, which is great, because that means then you can put the caps back on, that they come with, and just basically keep them there. And then every now and again, if you want something a bit different, you just pull a carto out, pop it in, and off you go, and you know exactly what's in it. So anyhow, here we go. Jameson's Irish Vapor Juice, 12 milligram. Forbidden Fruit is this particular one. Bottle looking remarkably like the whiskey bottle. Logo looking remarkably like the Jameson logo as well. But there you go. Forbidden Fruit. Now, in terms of a description as to what this is, apparently it's crisp apples and lime. So for me, that's not a great start, because as some people would know, apples are really not my thing at all. Now, I'm not going to sort of pretend that this is the first time I've ever tried it, because it's not. I've tried it in the past. But it is about 2 or 3 weeks since I last tried it. And when you open the bottle, the smell coming off it is... It doesn't give a huge amount away. It's a kind of a slightly strange smell. Some bottles you open up and immediately you can smell what it is that's actually in it. With this, it's a little bit different. So anyway, we'll give it a go. There's not a massive amount of vapour off this one. I mean, it's fairly good, and I'd imagine if I put it into something else, you'll probably be able to get plumes coming out of it. But it's not as much vapour as on some of the other liquids. And you kind of almost expect, when you see these really posh bottles, that you're going to get something that's going all over the place, But, and then again, in this particular case, it could be that this carto is just maybe underpowered or something. What I can do is I'll just turn it up a wee bit. We're on 4 at the moment. I'll just go a little bit higher than that. I'll give it a go again. Yeah, that's actually getting things going a little bit more. The flavour of this. The flavour of this is absolutely gorgeous, which is strange for me given the fact that it's apple and lime. But for me, the balance within this is much more lime than it is apple. So the apple is sitting underneath the lime. The lime is definitely the dominant thing within it. Now, with the lime, it's quite citrusy, it's quite limey as you'd expect. It's quite genuinely limey as well. It's like a proper lime. And I think they said it's called a kaffir lime or something, which I don't know what that is, but maybe it's a lime that is a bit tartar, and it's almost slightly fizzy. This, it's almost like there's something else in there which is giving you a bit of a fizz when you actually taste it. Yeah, it's definitely slightly fizzy, and I think maybe it's just the fact that the lime is really quite strong on it, and suck on a lime and you know all about it. The other interesting thing about this, and it is a sort of it's one of those full sort of complex flavors, even though it's only got a couple of constituents, well, a couple of obvious constituents within it. But the other interesting thing about it is that the taste on the way in is completely different than the taste on the way out. When it's going in, it's just a very pleasant, sweet taste on your tongue, but you can't really define what the taste is. But then when it's coming back out, that's when you get things starting to happen. That's when the lime really sort of kicks off. It's on the exhale rather, and it's really, really nice. Again, trying it on the other side of the mouth there, a similar sort of thing. I think that I get more sweet on this side than I do on that side. But anyway, so all in all, what would I say? This one is an absolute cracker, and I love it. And I know they have got some other ones which I'll have to try and get hold of and see if I can do a bit of a review on those, because if the others are anything to go by, I'd imagine they're winners too. So in this particular one, as I said, they were sent to me by Vaporium.eu, and thank you to them for that. So side by side, both very fancy bottles, both quality liquids. This one has grown on me, but because of what the main tastes and flavors are within it, that wouldn't be really my thing. But I can imagine, I've read a little bit about these obviously, and this seems to be very, very popular out there, and I can understand why. This one here is right up my street, absolutely right up my street. Despite the fact that I'm basically on tobacco flavors most of the time, it's nice to get a really, really fresh, really different kind of a liquid. It doesn't taste like anything else I've really tasted. And again, that's always refreshing to actually come across, flavors which are completely new to you, that it's not just another version of something else, and let's face it, a lot of liquids out there are like that. And so the big differentiator between them actually becomes the price rather than anything else. I can safely say with the two of these that they're not really trying to emulate anything else. They are their own flavors, their own tastes. And whether or not the flavors and tastes are for you or not, again, I think they're well made, and so I would have to say that I'd recommend them. So that's all I can really say about that. So thanks for watching again, and hopefully catch you again soon. Cheers.